Today we're supposed to have John Flynn. John Flynn is one of our professors who are very seasoned professional in this field of health and safety, and especially training on this fire safety and prevention. As usual, you can see the football is going on, and that's just it. So thank you so much. So there any other video else for you to show? As do you have the second video? I think Flynn have one other second video. Anyone? Okay, fine. So that is the Christmas tree from the parlor. You see, started, and if you notice something, you can see what happened within just seconds. The whole thing have to just speed up. So, during the training, we'll be looking at some of these factors and be able to know the contributing factors and things like that. You see, just within seconds, and the speed was. You can see the speed of spread. That is fire for you, and it depends on the factors that are really controlling the fire, and also it depends on the items and the factors within that very particular fire. So that is just it. So in situations like that, there must be control in place, because within a minute, within a second, a whole lot can happen. Thank you so much, Ez, for that. So I'll be sharing my screen at this moment to be able to for us to look into the topic proper and understand the rules of engagements, understand the process behind fire safety, because it's a chemistry that we need to understand how it's done, how it's formed, how it's spread, how it's controlled. Because in various countries, you always see fire incident of this nature, and whether small or big, at home, in offices, even in cars, while driving cars and things like that. We have seen so many situations of this nature. Fire is a good master and also a bad master, as some people may say. Now, we have really been doing a whole lot since Monday in these very topics, in various topics, and I believe that we have been learning a whole lot. Today, we are looking at course 107, which is fire safety and prevention. Fire safety and prevention. And if you understand how this thing, I know every one of us knows what is fire. I don't need to define it. I don't need to explain it. We all knew what is it. You say, in the UK, a whole lot of fire happens annually, and about 35,000 fires per annum, which are serious, enough to involve attendance by fire brigade and things like that, and it leads to so much of fatalities, injuries, But now things are getting more better, and is more worse in developing countries. And of course, major fires such as the Brentford City Football Stadium, and also King's Cross on the Grand Fire. Even recently, we saw the fire also incident in the United States. So, these things happens. These things happen. So, but if it happens, what is the corrective actions? What is the preventive measures? What is the outcome of the investigation? These things need to be put into place. Somebody asked the question earlier, was asking that in terms of accident investigation and things like that, you say, how do you implement and all that? So, the point is that if you want to practice safety and get it right, you need to think right. We are in an environment, we are in an era where people don't think. That is just the problem. That is the problem I still have with so many people too, including some friends and colleagues. We are in an era where people don't think. People just have their beautiful brains well coated with their head. They will just have to stylishly punish their head very well, carve it if they are guys and men. For ladies, they have to do so many other beautiful stuffs. They have to even wear hundreds of thousands, thousands of naira or dollars or pounds, human hair or whatever hair or bush hair, whatever you call it, But my worry is that the brain is not working. The brain is not working. So, because if you actually have a kind of self-thinking and diligent meditations, you can live a very beautiful life. Yes. You can live a trouble-free life on earth. You can live a successful life. I have practiced some of these things in my little way. I've lived in Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria, of course. Before I left the environment. Then, even when I was in Lagos, there are so many issues. Many of you that knows Nigeria, for those from Nigeria, Lagos is a very serious commercial busy city where high level of risk of living there is very high compared to other states, So, for you to live in a very beautiful way in such environment, you need your brain working. You need your brain working. And more dangerously in this era now, you need your brain working. I do tell people this. A lot of things happens. We say it's maybe the way the way God wants it. As we always say, yes, you can't control everything 100%, but you need to be in charge. You need to be in control. When things get out of hand, you are in control. That is what makes you a human being. But when things get out of hand, you are not in control. Then you are lost. You have gone. You have gone. It's not that nothing will happen. Things will happen. You should expect things to. I'm always expecting things to happen. I'm always expectant. In anything can happen at any time because I don't care and I don't give a damn whatever happens. But the point is that I will always have to think deep to know how to resolve the situation and bring solution on the table. That is the issue of fire. Issue of fire requires diligent thinking. If not, you will get your house burnt. If not, you will get your car burnt. If not, you will get so many things destroyed. On fire. Look at those beautiful fire Christmas trees. It's just a very minor stuff. The fire source was highly surrounded by high level of fuel materials. Somebody may ask, why was the fire burning that way? Was there any fuel explosion there? Was there any spirit? For my people in Africa, some of them will say is a spiritual fire, is a sent fire. They send the fire that how can ordinary small tiny burn the whole man's house within seconds. They sent that fire from the village. They sent it from the village. So that is ignorant. That's ignorant. Because if you see where they position that very fire tree, you will find out that you will see the couch is there. You see so many fabrics and a lot of stuff. So these are fuel. These are food. So you now look at the issue with the stadium also in the same order. Careless behaviors and attitude contributed to what you saw there, that resulted in high level of casualties and things like that. And of course, management issues are also there. And from that year till now, if you enter some stadium, you will now see that there are new innovations to control fire even without human efforts by having what we call a from 200 fire suppression system. That is now being installed in a very big complex environments and high risk fire zones and things like that. So these are the controls that have emanated after the incident you just watched. You say, so that is an improvement that is in the developed world. Okay, now coming to the basic principles of fire, that is what I will want you to understand. In everything, I don't want to waste my time, but I would like you to be pay attention to the basis, pay attention to the foundation. If you don't get the foundation, then there's a problem, because I won't be there all the time to explain to you. But if you get the foundation, then it's good for you. Okay, now if you look at my screen and if you look at the video that we watched earlier before the class comments, for those that watched that video, they might have learned one or two things, I guess. Now, looking at this fire trial, we have some key factors here that give birth to fire. We have key factors here that always give birth to fire. Those three things are heat, ignition, fuel, and oxygen. Now, among these three elements, I have only 2 minutes. It won't be up to 2 minutes. I have 30 seconds for who will answer the question. Then anybody that answers the question, maybe let me pick 5 people that will answer the question. I think I will have a special something for them. Only 5 people. Yes. Somebody say why. Why is because that's my choice. Yes, that is why. I'm giving only 5 people. I want to look for my this thing. I want to look for my chat box so that I will see clearly and see how to manage the situation. Now, these 5 people, they are going to be very intelligent scholars in this class. Okay. So let me position. I just want to position myself before I ask the question to avoid whispering and those that are very smarter than computer to ask questions. So that is just pardon me. I want to be sure I'm having my chat here to do this. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask a question, please. Just be ready to type. That is just the only good thing you can do for yourself. Now, the question is that these 3 elements that constitute fire, which of them is constant? Okay. Yes, let's stop, please. Thank you. I know we stop in Benjamin. Are you there? That's where we stopped. Any other person typing is good for you. You're on your own. Yes. Any other person typing, you're on your own. Confirm you're on your own. So the question is that among the 3 elements, which of those elements are what? Which of them are constant? Wile said is heat. Then Idowu says fuel. Madam Zoom says heat. Inikawa say is heat. Fortune Eclipse. No, you answered before. Why? Okay, Fortune. Okay, no, you have not answered before. Anybody that answered 2 times, you're on your own. Okay. Then Fortune says oxygen. Fortune got it. That is number 1 person who got it. Then the next person after her said is what? That is God's grace. Unaware. Okay, say oxygen. That is the second person. Uti says air. You felt it. Then Joshua say oxygen. That's the 3rd person that got it. Yeah. Then Miracle says oxygen. That is the 4th person. Yeah. Then Benjamin say is heat. Now he fell it. Then Silas. No, any other person after Benjamin, you're on your own. No, don't say it's network. There's nothing like network. Nothing like network. I'm sorry. Now, is after that Benjamin, you see everybody have whispered, they have looked for chat GPT and chat whatever. You're on your own. You're on your own. So, please, those 4 people that got it before Benjamin, you have my special, I don't know. I think my queen will direct me because she knows how to do some of those things. I hardly understand how to manage the situation, when it comes to things like this. But I think there will be special gifts for them. There will be special gifts for them. Yeah, Sharif from Ghana. You want to say something? No need to say something, please. No, you don't say anything until after the class. Thank you. So, that is it. The 4th delegate got it. Oxygen is constant. Oxygen is constant. Yeah. Oxygen is present everywhere. Everywhere. In the bathroom, in the kitchen, in the car, in anywhere you go, oxygen is constant. Now, if they are giving you a mathematics, and we said among the 3 elements that form these products, which is fire, 1 thing is constant. That means that the one that is constant, you don't have any solution to it. You don't have solution. There is no solution to it. So is there. So which one are you going to control? Is heat and fuel. You control heat and fuel. You control heat and fuel because that is the 2 that you can control. Okay, going back to that Christmas tree, using a scenario. Now, oxygen is in the parlor. They bought Christmas tree. The Christmas tree they bought is what? It's not heat. It's electric. It's ingredients. That is heat. The sockets where they plug at that edge of that sitting room, that is the ignition source. That is the source of the heat. The ignition source, that socket there, is the source of the heat. Then, where is the fuel? The fuel are the furnitures, the rug. If that was a rug, not ties, because ties helps. That is part of the innovation to reduce combustion during fire. Because you remember those days, those years where when you enter a big man's house, there is no much ties. You see rug everywhere. It's only in bathroom you won't see rug. Even in the kitchen, there will be rug. They will rug everywhere. And when you enter, and some of them that are big boys like us those days would have to just put some tiny small foam under the rug. So when you are stepping on the sitting room everywhere, it will be bouncing as if your room is everywhere is just slide down and slip. I don't know if any of you experience that. People like Prosper will be laughing now because they experience it. Those days when I was in school, that's how we package. We have to. So that is too much trouble we are looking for ourselves. We are creating problems with that noise. You see, that is ignorant. Fine. Those stuffs are fuel. These are fuel. Okay. Those things are fuel. So if the oxygen is there, you now bought Christmas tree you keep in the source, then surround the whole place with those furniture. Then what happened? Just wait for fire to come. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of one miscalculation. High voltage, maybe spark, maybe bad socket. Go back to our houses, even in our room right away, even as I speak. I see some sockets, they are not covered. Yes, they are not covered, they are all open. Okay, to shock you now, you see live cables in those sockets. Some of the students that are listening to me will agree with me, that even right now, you see that some of the extensions and whatever they are using, there is no plug to it. They just have to use teeth, and they just use teeth and push this one off, the plastic off, use teeth and push the negative off. They just have to find a way and socket it there. Then light will come. They say, of course, everything is fine. Then behind that very source, they will just have to roll up their cutting. So just move the cutting a bit, you see the socket. And the socket is nowhere controlled. Naked wires are there. So what do you expect? It's just a matter of time of one little spark, the cutting will just pick up fire. And once the cutting pick up fire, from there it get close to any other nearby fuel very closer to it and move. So we'll get to the point you'll be able to understand the segregation of these elements. So that is the fire triangle you hear. You hear fire triangle, you hear elements, the key element of fire, that is heat, fuel, oxygen. That is a fire. So if you think you understand what fire is now, you think you understand it, can you put on the chat box 111? If you are following, can you put on the chat box 111? You say, so in the spirit of moving forward on this topic, many of you will understand the way this fire behaves as we progresses. You see, you understand it very clearly, and the principles of the fire, as the case may be, as we explained earlier, have solutions. There are solutions, there are controls. So you can't stop it. Can your prayer stop fire? Can you just put fuel? You have fuel already in generator. Oxygen is already in the air. You now have matches or lighter in your hand, and you said, in the name of Jesus or Allah, please, this fire, as you do this, it will not catch fire. You are just wasting your time. You're wasting your time. So there are things you can't control. The things you can't control, you have to find the control measures that controls them. Okay, oxygen, there is a control measure that controls it. Yes, we say it's constant, but there are control that we can apply to an extent to eliminate it. It's difficult, but if you do it well, you can eliminate it. The fuel, there are control measures to it. Remember, the genesis of this topic and these trainings, based on international standards, is not for you to go and fight fire. It's for you to prevent fire. And of course, if the needful are done, you cannot have fire outbreak. If the needful are put in place, there is no way you can have fire. But if you have careless people around you, nonchalant individuals, that their brains are not working, it's only their head, beautiful heads are well displayed, then you have problem. You have problem. You see? So it's as simple as that. So we need to understand these issues. There are controls. What are the controls? One, cooling. The cooling. And what are you cooling? When you hear cooling, what are you cooling? The heat. The heat. You are cooling the heat. You are cooling the heat. Okay. Then removing the heat is what you are doing. Let's assume you see those furniture burning. Furniture is burning. Once it gets water, just ordinary water, we quench it. Okay, it will quench it. It won't be there. But you can't try that in all the fire. You try that in electrical fire, you are not giving a rope to bring you inside. That's what you're doing. So you get the point? So every one of these fires have their controls. When you will notice that what is burning, once you see fire, what you need to invent, what is burning, they say is this. That's why there are different fire extinguishers, and that's where there are special people to handle it. It's not meant for everybody. It's not meant for everybody. It's meant for the fire wardens. The fire wardens that are within the facility, or maybe the safety officers are trained within the facility, handles that. At home, we advise people put fire extinguishers, train the family, train the children, train the neighbors, train security, have to handle it. And put the fire extinguisher where it's accessible. Don't go and lock it up. I've seen in some areas. I don't know where I saw that. I can't remember where I saw it. It was under lock and key, the fire extinguishers. Yeah. It was under lock and key. So you don't do that. Okay. You have to make it accessible. You have to train people how to use it, so that the people that knows how to use know how to access the fire. The next one is smothering. This is the cure for the oxygen. We said is constant. And why did we say it's constant? It's everywhere. It's everywhere and it's always available. You don't need to go and buy it. It's available. So what do you have to do? Control it. That's all you need to do. Control it. So removing the oxygen, we use smothering. That is using the kind of fire extinguisher that have the substances to be able to coat the burning element. Once it's coated with that foam, it have created a barrier between oxygen and the element burning. In such case, fire disappears. In such case, fire disappears. Another one that is similar to that is fire blanket. Yes, when you see you are frying plantain, and for many of you that are good cook, we don't have good cook this time around. Both the ladies and the men, there is no good cook. Unlike those days that we cook, even when I was in school, 2 o'clock I'm cooking, we are reading, we are gisting, cooking our normal rice and beans, sometimes only beans, because that's the most easiest thing for me to cook then. Put oil and put salt, put oil, put salt, then beans is done. Everybody's happy. You get it? Yeah. So when we do those cooking those days, you can be frying plantain to do the needful, the fire will come. Then when fire comes, what do you do next? You take fire blankets to cover the frying pan. When you do that, what have you done? You have resisted the oxygen to penetrate inside the oil where the fire is. And in case of doing that, what happens? Then the fire goes. In some cases, for some of us that are very smart sometimes, I have seen that happen. Maybe they said, okay, the fire, the oil caught fire. They said, okay, cover it. You cover it. Why are you covering it? You are removing oxygen. You cover it, there won't be any room for the air to enter, for it to burn further. That is the chemistry. You see, so it is not unique to all the elements, but you need to understand all these key areas of these fire categories. Very important. The next one you see is what we call staff. Removing what? Fuel. Removing the fuel. And why is called starving is because if there is nothing fire to eat, what happens? It dies. The fire goes. The fire goes. For many of you, which is very difficult to see those that grown up in the village this time around. But many of us, like us that are very good in the village, especially when you see people like my able queen who want to claim Nigerians and tell us he's African. He have not seen cooking with firewood. When you cook with firewood, you understand how to manage fire. Because when you are cooking with firewood and you are putting firewood and the food is done and the fire is still very, increasing the more, what do? Some people do two things. They use the method of cooling. That is removing some of the firewood stick, then the fire will reduce or stop. Or they bring water, then you pour on it, then the fire is gone. So when you remove those wood, you are starving the fire from burning. You are starving the fire. Okay, in your room, how will you starve the fire? In your room, how will you starve the fire? Is by removing all combustibles. Change your room rug to tiles. You are starving fire in case if there is fire. Then remove the curtains. That is curtains, the window curtains, change to some other window metal or maybe other treated wounding blinds. Okay? You are starving fire. These are the elements. These are how it happens. Then reducing high level of shelves and that have so much of bush and all that, you go electronic. If you enter some offices now, like some banks, because they have started migrating and transforming, you don't enter some offices any longer. You see so much of bush and files and these. No, that era have gone. Why? The modern technology today have eliminated that problem by using electronic. So you starve the fire. So if there is any fire, is burning maybe your socket, you are charging your phone and there is explosion, it will just end there. It can't get hold of anything to burn and continue. It just ends there. But if there is where there are fabrics, shelves and things like that, once it explodes and it's catching fire, it gripped the next fuel very available. Then it goes. And when he starts, if there is nobody around to arrest it, when it's still very small, you saw what happened in the stadium. That's what happened in the stadium is also to teach us that we need to arrest fire when it's still very small. You can arrest fire when it's small. Once it's big, run for your life. Run for your life. Don't joke with the senior. Don't joke with that senior. He's a senior. He's a master. Don't just run for your life. Okay. Now, we also have the fourth one, chemical reactions. The chemical reactions. In most cases, these methods are used in big factories, ports, some big channels and port environment where there are high level of big combustible materials, metals and things like that can burn. Do you understand? So, and at the end of the day, the use of chemical reactions such as halon will be used to be able to arrest the situation, to knock off the fire at a very fast pace. You see, but there are so many mechanisms that are being used now, like what I said before, using of FM 200 suppression system. These are used during the building structures or maybe during any facility, depending on the fire risk assessment conducted in that facility. I'll say, okay. Then, going forward, there are 5 basic types of fire. Class A fire, which involve materials like woods, papers, your foam, your bed, your clothes, and things like that, your wardrobes, and your rugs, your tables. These are stuffs that you can easily burn very easily. That can burn very easily. And the next one you see is the Class B fire, which involves the liquid, liquefied solids like oil, fat, and things like that, even paints. So these are Class B kind of fire. And the Class C kind of fire, and you are talking of areas and things like gases, maybe things like or maybe the cooking gas. These are Class C. Your cooking gas, the turned and so many in a more industrial way and all that. And the Class D is some metals. We have metals fires. There are fires that for example, aluminiums and the magnesiums and things like that, they burn. They catch fire. You see. So these are different elements. And we also have the Class F, which is the oil and fat at high temperatures, which mainly used in high or industrial kitchens or maybe manufacturing industries and things like that. Okay, so in those ones, that's the kind of fires that you see there, where the fats, where the temperatures are very high. So these are the issues. Now, looking at these different classes we discussed earlier, you see Class A is not controlled with what? Water. Control with water. Fires will involve wood, paper, and things like that. Water will handle it. Then the Class B fire, which we mentioned earlier, which involves flammable liquids, paint and things, if they are burning and things like that. Then the foam will handle it, because what will the foam do? The foam will do what we mentioned, which is smothering, which we said earlier. Okay, then when we come to the Class C, which involves things like flammable gases, kitchen gas, cooking gas, and things like that. Okay, now that involves using the ABC powder. There are so many fire extinguishers. If you see it, you will see ABC, and some of them you see it is written foam, and some of them you see written water. You see. So, and also in terms of the fire that involves the electricals, equipments, photocopy machines, and things like that, computers, you can also use the ABC fire extinguishers to handle. can use that to handle it. Okay, now you come to the dry special powder. These are special for these high flammable metals. These are industrial fire extinguishers. It's not meant for the usual fire extinguishers you see in offices and small manufacturing area. No, these are industrial. You see some of these areas in some of these fire extinguishers. You see them in tin can, in shipping tin can, in big maritime industries, inside the shipyards. So you see some of those special fire extinguishers. You can find them there. You can find them, or maybe oil and gas manufacturing exploration environment. You find these special fire extinguishers there. It's not like the usual one. You understand? Then the CO2. You will see some fire extinguisher written CO2. Those CO2s are used for class B class of fire, which is what? Which have to do with the liquids and which have to do with the electrical. So if you are possibly having a fire, the generator house or generator set, the kind of fire extinguishers you keep there is CO2. You don't need to put ABC fire extinguisher. You don't need to put water or foam there. No. It's CO2, because that is what can arrest that fire burning in that energized electrical fire. Maybe your control switch is burning. You now went and go and carry water. You kill yourself. Yeah, just saying, I surrender myself. Fire. That's what I say. I surrender myself. And the fire will say, okay, you are welcome. It will attract you. Because what it will do is to attract you, is to draw you. Because it does not have respect for water. It does not have respect for water. So the only cure is what? CO2. That is what we cure it. Then we have wet chemical fire, which have to do with fires that involves materials, wood, textiles, and things like that. And again, cooking oil, fat. Some of these ones is also industrial. These are industrial kind of industrial environment. That is where you see some of these wet fire extinguishers. That's where you say. Okay, going forward to the next element is what's talking about very the importance. What's the basic principle of the fire. Yes, he said it is now very important to consider what happens if the wrong type of extinguisher is used on a particular type of fire. When you use the wrong fire extinguisher on a particular kind of fire, then, as I said before, then you expose yourself to a bigger harm, more bigger troubles. You surrender yourself to the incident, to accident, to death, or to fatality. Yes, it can never be our portion. The only respect of that statement is to do the needful and make sure that the needful is being done. Then you'll be able to avoid such casualties. Prayer alone doesn't. Yes, miracles happen. I have seen so many miracles. I've been hearing some miracles that happen. Somebody said in my shop, "It's God that saved me." We just wake up very midnight, around 1 o'clock. They start calling that fire is burning your shop. Fire is burning your shop. I say, God, where is this devil? This devil, where did they come from? This devil, where did they come from? He started praying. I agree with you. Sister, brother, I agree with you. But let's just be realistic. Visit that shop before the fire incident. Can we visit that shop? Can we do a rewind? Can we do a rewind of that shop before the fire incident? Can we do a rewind of that shop before the fire incident? Then we as intelligent species to be able to analyze what caused the fire, if it's devil that caused the fire, if it's demon that caused the fire, or if it's carelessness of our own life that caused the fire. Because it's not good putting blames on some certain things that that it doesn't make any sense, because it will repeat. That is why you see in some African countries, tanker will keep falling every day. Nobody is doing anything, but they are investigating it. That's foolishness. You know they cured, so why are you disturbing yourself? There is no need to disturb yourself, because you should be able. Knowledge is lacking. There are deficiency of knowledge. That is why you have not seen the reason, and you see it as an attack from the enemy. And there is no enemy pursuing anybody. These are the elements, aftermath of what I see a lot of African people are suffering from at a very high level. In Europe, is there. They don't give a fuck, a damn of whatever it is. They are okay, their life is fine. But in Africa, in the case where this deficiency of intelligence is lacking, then it's affecting us. Why? Because the government is not there to do the needful. That is why. 2, the government, or there is no help from anywhere to be able to help you solve those problems. So the cheapest way for you to live and to have a sustainable system is to put your intelligence in gear 5. Put it in gear 2, you're on your own. In gear 3, you're on your own. In gear 5, that is the happens. With that, you'll be able to control every circumstances around you before things that you can't control happens. In the other way around, what am I saying? Safety first. Total prevention. That is it. That is it. Because you see those shops. When that testimony was going on, I was just imagine the foolishness. Yes, we thank God it didn't burn. Yes, we thank God. Things happen. Things happen. But not the one you cause for yourself. Yeah, not the one you cause for yourself. Now, think of a piece of machinery, electric saw, television, a monitor, a foosball, a petrol spear, a frying pan, or deep fat fryer in the kitchen. These are things that can go wrong. Something might have gone wrong that triggers the incident that happens. And that is why you need to do your investigation. That is why the brain must be alive. That is why the brain must be alive. I tell people most times, you create problem for yourself and you are crying. And that is why in Africa and in Europe, for many of you, because I know the two environments, people pray more in Africa, and we do more of such religious in Africa, and still the high level of risk and death and fatality and everything and evil is high. In Europe, they don't believe in much in order. They believe in fact and figure. Do the needful, work with your intelligence, then you get results. And that is why God said, if my people perish because of lack of knowledge, you need to go and learn. When you don't learn, you can die for free. Nobody will kill you. You just kill yourself. Then in the same ignorance, you'll be thinking that somebody killed you. And some of the followers that are also ignorant will also be so foolish to think that somebody killed him. You see? So that is the genesis. That is the nature of the whole life people live. I remember those days I'm in Nigeria. In my vehicle, no mechanic touches my vehicle. Only one. After due assessments and risk assessment. You know? But we have some people, you're a mechanic, okay, come and do this. You're a mechanic, come and. This one will just finish. You will not use sellotape to tap the naked wires. And you yourself, who is the leader, who owns the vehicle, don't have the knowledge to give instruction and to inspect, to be sure. You drive and zoom off. Is it moving? It's moving. Okay, goodbye, sir. How much is it? You pay. You still pay the person that is going to kill you. Then, tomorrow, the next one will come and say, this one happened, that one happened. Is that cable that burnt? It's okay. Just bring another cable, join it, just tape everything, put that, start it. Yeah, is it moving? Oh, it's good. Oh, thank you. Close the bonnet. How much is that? Is there? Okay, fine. It's okay. Goodbye. See you tomorrow. Who told you there will be tomorrow? You see tomorrow, that is good luck for you. But there is possible that you may not see tomorrow. Because I have seen such happen. They just move the next few kilometers, the bonnet just catch fire. It didn't happen 1 week after that incident. You are lucky. It didn't happen 1 month after that incident. You are lucky. It didn't happen 5 months after that incident of repairs of the wrong person. You are lucky. It now happened in the 9th month after the day of that incident. Then your memory, your intelligence have wiped off and trash that there was a careless mechanic who tampered with that vehicle 9 months ago and failed to sellotape the naked cables, and it have triggered a fire that put the car on fire. Because your intelligence will never go that somebody who tampered with the car. Okay, many of you now, if I should ask a question, what happened 7 months ago? Or who touched, or who does 8 months ago from today? You can't remember. You can't remember. Okay, who came to repair this generator? You have 5, 7, 8 times, 5 people who are repairing one generator at the same time. Different kind of people. It's an exposure, it's a risk. So these are the genesis. These are the causes of incident you see and you hear that happens. And that is why in developed world, they tell us, or they have told us, that nothing happens out of nothing. And that is why they believe so much in safety first. Safety 100%. Safety 100, not 99%. I say 100%. Safety 100%. Why? Because there are processes, there are systems, there are procedures, there are, plan order of engagement. Okay, see in the UK, for example, no human being have the right to say, I'm bringing my own person, I'm bringing my brother, my sister to come and check the wiring or check the heating system in the house, your own house. Can't try it. Your own house, your own house, you bought £150,000, £120,000, £200,000. You bought this facility, 2-bedroom apartment. You don't have the single right to touch the heating system, to repair or to turn, apart from on and off. You don't have the right. Nobody in the whole country, not in the community, in the whole country have the right. Who have the right? Licensed, competent person with license. You don't have licensed, competent person, and those people were guided by the council or the authorities that regulate them. You don't have the right. Why? These are the long processes that reduces high level of fire outbreak in houses, high level of nonchalant attitudes of people displaying different. So there is check and balance. There are systems in place. But it can't happen in Ghana. In Ghana, it's not working. Call John. Call John. Call John. John, come. John, this is not working. John said, okay, I see. When did you stop? It just stopped now. Okay, let me check. They will just be doing try and error. They will do try and error. Oh, it's not that one. Oh, don't worry. Let's buy this fuse now. When we get that fuse, I guess everything will be fine. No machine to check. You are not the manufacturer of the equipment. You don't understand how it runs. Just everybody doing try and error. So why wouldn't there be high level of fires and even there is no system? There is no system. So let's even assume, okay, something happened. You saw what happened in Europe in a stadium. Now, visit any stadium, Manchester Stadium in Manchester tomorrow or anywhere. Go and see how the stadium is now. There are improvements. So if you look at your house now, you will see it have not happened. It's just because the time have not come. That is why that socket that is still open have not shocked somebody. That is why the socket that the head doesn't have head. You just have to use broom. You put at the top of the native. The cable will go down. You just socket it there. He said, leave the wire. Is it on? Is it on? Okay, leave it there. Okay, touch it small. You touch it. Okay, leave it. It's on now. So it's just a matter of time. Then you see the manifestation of that attitude and that character. Then something will happen. Somebody will forget that he's so foolish to burn his own house. He say he's devil or one woman, or he's the one that caused it. He's the one that caused it. You see? So these are the causes. 40 fuel supplies, 40 appliances, as I have said, misuse of equipment, as I have said, deep fat flyer, carelessness handling hot materials, as I have said. Other causes not even listed, I have even told you all. You see, these are the causes of the fire. When people hear fire, they say, no, let's go and learn how to fight the fire. Who told you that you have to learn how to fight fire? You should focus more how to prevent, not to fight. Not to fight. Because are you fire? You and fire who burn each other? You answer me. You and fire will burn you and burn the bone. So what will you do, fire? Nothing. Nothing. And when I say nothing, and I mean nothing, you can't do fire anything. So the person will just die for free. The person will just die for free. So these are situations that, as safety professionals, when you enter some environment, even when I was in Nigeria, if I enter any environment, when I look around, I'll start correcting everywhere. I will start putting, I say, no, this can't continue this way. No, this can't continue. Even when I travel, sometimes I go to my home village, I see my old mom and all that. I say, no, that gas cylinder have to be changed immediately. They say, no, we're managing it. I say, you managing it is that you're ready to die. You just want to kill yourself. It's just a matter of time. You don't manage. You don't manage. Managing is a high risk. We have discussed risk. Is likelihood of accident happening is a high risk. You don't manage. You have to get it right or leave it. It's as simple as that. That is, if you want to live, you want to be alive, you want to be out of trouble. Now, what to do when fire is detected? What to do? Raise alarm. Is not for the time to do selfie and snap photos. To fight and evacuate. Remember that most people are not trained on how to do this. So you have to check, are you trained on how to do it? Then you can do it. Okay? then you are not trained, and it's not the time for you to jump from the window. It happened in Lagos, in Apapa, in Nigerian Port Authority. That's some years back. A fire going on, then the gentleman jumped from the window from there because he felt that his one-story building on that office, and that was the end of it. Now, those that smuggling the way through the door and all that, they have some bruises and all that, but they're okay. But the one that jumped without proper risk assessment, because the brain is not working, then was able to kill himself for free. So the fire is a thief. When it comes, you don't need to run. You need to stand and fight it. If you don't have what it takes to fight it, then you have to move. It's not the time to look for your bag and look for whatever. Move. Leave the phone, leave the bag, leave everything, move. You look back, you turn to salt. Yeah? You move. It's not the time to use lift. You have to use staircase. Move. That is what we are saying. It's time to move. Okay. Then, in terms of smoke and all that, the smoke issue, yeah. When you see smoke, there are things. The fire is burning and everywhere is just smoke. You don't move, so you have to bend because the smoke goes up. So, and oxygen up is already contaminated, but the clean air is below. So you need to bend, you need to scrub, you need to roll. That is the easiest way to escape from such mess. Okay. And the spread of fire, yeah, conventional, combustion, radiation. We have discussed some of these things from a scenario. Okay. Convention, you see, is spread. Conductor, like the fire issue, radiation, yes. Direct burning, yes. So these are spread of the fire. So you must have to be very careful how you tangle yourself with the fire, and how you on the fire, and things, how you tackle the fire, and all that. Now, there are modern systems that is now helping humanity to manage these human threats, and also an essential element of life, which is fire. Using what? Fire detection and the fire warning systems. We all know it. So when you have some of these elements or equipment at home, it will help you to detect and send alarm before the real fire happens. So it's necessary you have them. It's necessary. It's not a waste of money. Advise your management, advise the office, put those things there. It helps you to raise alarm. You can't be everywhere at the same time. You're not a spirit, you're a human being. So wisdom demands you have to spread your fire this thing in different floors, in different rooms, especially the high risk zone, based on your fire risk assessment. Where are the sources of fire? Where are the control? Maybe where you have your control box, whether in your staircase or maybe outside, you put fire extinguisher there. You put a smoke detector there, and also put fire detector. We have two elements, two different like that. There are some control switch like those in Nigeria. They to start smelling. It is smelling and start bringing out some stuff and all that. I have been in an environment where I see such. They say, no, leave it. There is no fire yet. It will stop. You say, yeah, don't worry. That is how it usually. That is a method. Once it's smelling, don't worry. Once it smells, it's just a matter of time. The smell will stop, sir. Don't worry, sir. No, just leave it. Now me and them. Now we not accept. So okay. You see. So these are issues you experience in the field in most cases. Okay. Then evacuation, as I said before, no staircase, no jumping off window. And make sure in every environment you find yourself, there are 2 doors available. Now, assess your environment. The only door that you have to escape, That is where the control switch is. Right? Some of you now, that is a reality. Yeah, the only door for escape. In front, outside there, shake now. That is where the control switch is. So if that control switch, if you get fire, what happens? Is a very funny matter. But these are the realities. These are the realities. I entered one compound sometime. I told the man, I said, "Oga, if there is fire here, nobody will escape." He said, "God forbid." I said, "Why?" I said, "Because there is high risk zone. This control, from what I'm seeing here, is a high risk, is already a high risk, and there is no another escape from this part of the house." You see? So if such happen, unless you have to fight the fire, then if you find your way, you cross the fire. But if you can't cross the fire, it have increased. That means you have to break the burglary, which I know some of them use storm burglary, like some houses, the burglary, they are, even the devil cannot escape. Even devil can't escape. Why? Because of robbery and attack. So how will you not escape? How will you escape? So these things have to be put on the table and narrate it, evaluate it, criticize it, to find out you have a self-living system or a self-living environment. If not, there is a problem. There is a problem. I'm telling you, there is a problem. We are all agents of change. The earlier you go and start advocating to save your people, before you start looking for the safety certificate to look for job, to start looking for life to save first, is far better than what is in your mind now. Okay, evacuation is very serious. It's very serious, as I've said. That is what is it. Now, for you to do evacuation, there must be also be need for fire planning and training. Emergency planning and training, very, very important. And in this case, the emergency planning is what? In case of fire, okay, you have the fire brigade, they have to come and help if the fire is much. You have the fire extinguishers, and the right one, you have the fire extinguisher positioned in the right place. We went to LLNG when they were in Victoria Island. I was part of the fire risk auditor. We went for an audit. You know, in VI, they occupy up to like that 10 floors there. Now, when we went there, you see, as beautiful as some of the offices is, they carry the fire extinguishers, they have to use some flowers and block it, and the emergency exit route have turned into a junkyard. You see. So, during the audit, inspection audit, we have to now unveil some of these things and what are we trying to do? To make sure that in case of emergency, there are no obstruction to discharge of people, there is no rush, there is no, a kind of unnecessary incidents or situation that will contribute to the death or that will contribute to the injury of the already existing incident. That is what emergency is. Emergency is preparing for easier escape to reduce casualties in the face of the existing incident happening. So, if there is the emergency exit doors are blocked with cartons, and is it when you come and start offloading it to find your way? When the fire is already, smoke is already, when your brain is no more working. So it's not possible. So you see, depending on the volume of people there, a lot of people will die, a lot of people will stampede, a lot of people, because that very incident and attitude have contributed more to the incident happening and more damage recorded. That is a fire planning. And in most cases, you see the fire signs, as I showed you earlier on, emergency exit, and again, emergency lights, fire emergency lights. Emergency lights, because once there are electrical whatever, every light goes up. The emergency light take over. The lightning take over immediately. so that you'll be able to see your way out. Because you can't be thinking at that point, you forget that your phone even have touch. Yes, all the whole intelligence will disappear. Why? You are not well equipped. Many people you see running head-to-head have not been trained on safety, on fire safety before. They have not heard what you are hearing now. So they are acting based on what they are saying. But for those that have already been trained, they are still under control to remember one or two things to be done. But those that are not trained, or those that have not been given the orientation, their brain will disappear to America and be cooling down and be chilling. Whenever the incident finish, if they survive, the brain will come back. So that is the situation. So the inspection is very, very essential, and having the right tools in place is very, very key. Fire risk assessment. What is there? Simple. Identify and record the fire hazard. What are the fire hazards? This socket here is not good. We're not supposed to put the socket here. Please close it up. This extension you are crossing in this office, people are just crossing. It's not good. Please, let's buy more longer extension so that it will be wired. Okay, this surface is not good. Let's do conduit wiring. Let's then do trunk it, so that is why you enter some offices like multinational. You don't see wire anywhere. Everywhere is trunk all the cables, and you don't see wire flying everywhere. Organized. You can't see fire there. 10 years, no fire incident there. 15, 30 years, no fire incident there. They are not doing any too much prayer. They have just done the need. But enter one small shop, you see more than 10, 15 fires. This one is for generator to fly. This one is for computer, is for this to fly. Then they'll be praying, goes for 9 vigil every night. They will not sleep. They will rest. They will pray. Then when the negligence of the attitude in that shop starts, the fire will still burn there. It will burn. The prayer can't stop the fire. You can't stop it. Unless where God wants to have mercy. Because I believe in miracle. Yes, God will help. You see it? So in some cases, these things can be controlled. Evaluate and record. Prepare, record, execute. Somebody was saying, how will you, implement investigation, and how will you implement? Every incident that have happened must be recorded. The root cause of it you must know. Don't live a life of anyhow, anything goes. Then anything can also happen. Then monitor and evaluate. Risk assessment continues. What is it? Identify source of ignition. That is just the simplest way. Where are your source of ignition? What are the things surrounding it? Curtain, cupboard. If you enter some of our houses, at the back of the cupboard, one switch is there. Go and check. And tell me tomorrow. One switch is there. Then near that switch, even the one in the kitchen, the cooker's switch, they are not using cooker, but it's open there. Then gas cylinder is not even outside the house, it's inside the kitchen. Under the sink, that's where the gas cylinder is. Yeah. Some of you are laughing because you thought I'm a spirit. I have seen everything. That is what is it. Now, once there is a little spark there, everything just go. So, these are fire risk assessments we are talking about. Some of these scenarios I have explained and all that, just check around it. You find out that these are the very simple steps that we can do to reduce and eliminate. That is elimination. In the hierarchy of control, in fire risk assessment, first thing, eliminate. Second thing, substitute. In the same control, you use the same control to manage it. You use the same control, not to. The same control. You review or you redesign an evaluation plan, emergency response plan for the organizations and things like that. Restart some of the famous fires and all that. These are things check what constitutes or what have caused those fires happening. From what you see we have done today, you find out that negligence is the lead of some of the fire incidents and all the casualties we are seeing. Now, you say fire is burning markets in Ghana, in Nigeria. What do you expect? Just tell me, what do you expect? Have you entered the market before? Do you know how many people that have generator? Okay, who wired the generator for them? Nobody even did they did it themselves. Buy the cables, just fly the cable immediately. You see, then enter the shop, so many extensions. More than 50, 30 phones have been charged at the same time. John, Emeka, both the bike people, the motorcycles, the neighbors, the Gary seller, the mango seller, everybody will bring their phone in the morning, put in that shop and say, "Oh, God, help me charge." I say, generator. Okay, no, I'll help me charge. Everybody help me charge. 15 phones are there. What is the capacity of that very extension? What is the capacity? Okay, have you thought of those who are using extension with the fiber extension to be putting boiler and putting iron? Have you noticed what happens? Those cables will start becoming hot. You start hearing metal. Why? It's like using keke to pull a trailer. Is that not foolishness? No. Answer. Is that not foolishness? Can you put on the chat box, help yourself? Put on the chat box, help yourself. You are telling somebody, you're not telling yourself. I didn't say you tell yourself. Let's say you are telling yourself. Just help yourself. Help yourself. They know themselves. When you say it, they know themselves. They will take correction from there. Help yourself. Help yourself. That is common sense. At this point, thank you so much for this very wonderful presentation. And I believe we have learned something from it, and we take it up from there.